Gary Vee told once, return on social media is higher than the return on investment.
Once you make up your mind, the whole universe conspires to make it happen. And my whole mission has been to create value creating content.
Selling side is like very different from the influencing side.
I was the only girl handling sales in a team of 250 men. Jaipur is my hometown. There has always been so much of inspiration. I started recording videos and posting. So one of my dad's friend told him, "Oh, your daughter, I saw her on some video." And I thought, okay, fine, Renu, that's the end of your career. The diamond industry is dominated by men, but diamonds are eventually worn by women.
What kind of R&D you do before putting out that content?
Ambani wedding was talk of the town, not just in India, but globally.
Would you ever test the water with bare feet? We have someone today very daring who took the unconventional path of being a jewelry influencer. While working on her regular 9 to 5, she had aspirations to do something. Today's guest is Renu Choudhary, who's a diamond jewelry advisor. She has done some amazing work and she is a leading influencer in the industry. Welcome, Renu, on the Jewelry Pod. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much. It's my indeed pleasure.
We had a great time in Istanbul.
Yes.
Got to know you more.
Yes.
I know you from your very regular sessions on Zoom that were
Lovely.
eventually posted on LinkedIn. So
Yes.
that's how I know about you.
Interesting.
It was really interesting. Tell us more how you started this whole journey.
So I'm the fourth generation gems and jewelry enthusiast. So always been surrounded by gemstones and jewelry, and Jaipur is my hometown. So there has always been so much of inspiration. I have an experience of working with two leading company, and and in fact, with those companies, I was the only girl handling sales in a team of 250 men.
Wow.
So yeah, so that was a great movement for me, and a great what do I say? Great what? So being the only girl in a team of being the only girl in a team of 250 men, it was a great moment of pride, because as you know, the diamond industry is dominated by men, but diamonds are eventually worn by women, right? So I wanted to be that woman, who would give an opportunity and make a way for the other women to sit across the table and deal with sales of diamonds with clients across the globe. So that has always been my dream, and I'm very happy that now when I go back to my offices where I was working earlier, we do have ladies and girls dealing in sales of loose. That's a great achievement. Yes.
This is amazing to know. And how you started, when you thought you need to venture in this thing,
Right.
because selling side is like very different thing,
Yes.
different from the influencing side.
Yeah.
And moreover, I think influencing is not the right word how you started. You started with really good value conversations
Yes.
with people across the globe.
Yes.
And then you came ultimately to influencing
Wow.
side.
So yes, in 2018, I was just exhausted traveling from my house to the office, 2 hours stuck in the traffic every single day. And I was like, oh my God, now let's do something different. So one of my very dear friends, she told me, listen, hey, you have contacts, you have knowledge in the gems and jewelry industry. Why don't you be the voice and share your passion and share your knowledge online? So that's where the journey began. And believe me, when I started my channel, I knew nothing. I knew nothing about how to talk, how to record videos, how to write captions, nothing at all. But I had that burning desire to share the passion online. And of course, once you make up your mind, the whole universe conspires to make it happen.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. I spent a lot of time on YouTube. I studied how captions are written, what softwares to download, and how to talk in front of camera and everything. So step by step, and of course then lockdown happened, and that's the time I really put myself all out, because there was nothing else to do but to curate content. And my whole mission has been to create value creating content. If someone is spending 20 seconds of their time on my page, I take it as my responsibility to make their time worthwhile. So that's how it's began, and I've curated a lot of content about the jewels of the Indian royal family, like the Nizam of Baroda, Maharani of Baroda, Sita Devi, and Bhupendra Singh, and in fact my audience really loved it. Not just the Indian audience, but even the international audience, because the Indian Maharajas, the treasure is immense. So that's how the page got a lot of recognition, and then step by step I started researching a lot on international museum. So when I curated a series on the Persian royal family, again it got a lot of recognition. So yeah, so I think basically, your intentions have to be right. Your goal has to be clear to share something value
Yeah.
creating, and it has to come from the heart, because if it's coming from the heart, it will touch the right audience. So that's how it's
Couldn't
been.
agree more. Renu, you started influencing for the industry
Yes.
that was really not well versed with the social
Yes.
media, honestly.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm talking about nearly like 5 years from now.
Yes.
So tell us your initial challenges. I'm
Yes.
sure it's not that smooth.
No.
Everyone see you, 166 followers. Oh, amazing.
A lot of hard
She's
work.
going places. Oh, amazing.
Oh yeah, well, there's a lot of work that goes behind that, traveling around to places also. And I remember when I started, see, I come from a business family background. So when I started recording videos and posting, so one of my dad's friend told him, "Oh, your daughter, I saw her on some video." And my father, not being aware about what Instagram is, Facebook is, he questioned me, "What videos are you?" So it was so, and I thought, okay, fine, Renu, that's the end of your career. Now, whatever you had planned for, nothing is going to be happening.
Oh, God.
But then eventually, of course, I explained him, and now after 6 years, when his friends and his associates, they tell him, "Oh wow, we saw your daughter here and there and everywhere," he's really proud. And now he tells his friends, that, "Oh, my daughter talks about gems and jewelry." So of course, it wasn't that easy. And then also when you're just starting off, your career, brands don't know you. Brands don't want to be associated with you, because brands, of course, want
Yeah.
to see where the content is being posted, what experience this person has. But I think it's just a step by step process. You need to prove yourself. First, prove yourself, and that's when the brand will see the fire in you. And when they see the capability in you, they will call you on their own. And in fact, there was an experience. I remember there was a brand I was really fond of, and I'm yet very fond of course. So I would wait, after 1 hour, come back again to the booth, ask the owner, "Can I take some picture?" He would say, "No, sorry, we are busy." Again, come back. I was disheartened, but never gave up. And then again, he was, "Oh, Renu, I'm very sorry, but we're very caught up." And then after 3 years, I'm closely associated with that brand. Be it any event of his, they always invite me.
That's
So your
cool.
work talks. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that any form of work that you do it with passion, and eventually your work will talk. That's the most important thing.
And you name your channel Diamond Talk.
Yes. In Diamond Talk, always. Why? Because my father, he's into trading of loose diamonds. Always been surrounded by natural diamonds. So that's where the passion has always been with diamonds. Yeah.
And when you say that you do your R&D, what kind of R&D you do before putting out that content? Sometimes details are obsoleted, sometimes details are redundant. So how you make sure that it is most relevant?
So research. Every content that you post, a lot of research has to be well read, especially when it comes to some historic content, because there are experts out there.
Yeah.
There are historians out there. One little word or one little wrong year that you've quoted could invite trouble to you. So you have to first of all, take your work very seriously. Do a lot of research. Don't post something just for the sake of posting. Post something which will create some value in someone's life. So yeah, it's a serious affair.
It's a serious
It's
business.
a totally
It's
serious business. Yes.
I'm a big fan of Gary Vee, where he told once that return on social media is higher than the return on investment.
Yes.
And I was like awestruck. I was like, my dad always telling me, "Do you save? Do you?" He never told me about investing, honestly.
Yes.
But he always told me to save. And I was like, okay, I would do that eventually. But why this man is so much blabbering about return
Returns.
on social media? Tell me, Renu, how much time it took for you to not be dependent on your salary and be completely efficiently carrying out your own operations without any support.
Any support. So so since I was working earlier, I did have little support system of getting good gadgets, which are very important for social media, to like curate content. So that really helped me. And then it wasn't that easy initially, but of course, you find your way out. And then gradually, when brands started approaching me, when collaborations started happening with me, when international shows they started inviting me, so that's when the avenues started opening and the doors started opening. So one thing I would like to share on this, one, I'd gone for a talk, and that lady had said that any opportunity that comes knocking on your door, grab it. Never say never, because you are like, "Oh my god, I don't have finances, oh my god, or I can't do this," because you don't know what may lead to what. So that's what I kept on doing, when I didn't have enough financial support. Any show would tell me, do come visit us. I was like, okay, fine, I will be there. So that's how it happened. So of course, when I started, initially the shows were all in Bombay, Jaipur, Delhi. That's where I would go. But I would say, okay, fine, I will come. I will come. So every opportunity that came to my way, always go for it.
But did you mapped your expenses that do you need like X amount of money when you thought that yeah your creation is finally bringing you fruits?
So, see, honestly, financially, there was never a challenge. By God's grace, everything was has been very good for
Not
me.
exactly, but I'm like if someone has to take a plunge, someone
Yeah,
has to
or
take
someone,
that leap of
yeah.
faith that okay, I'm gonna leave my job today and gonna do this. In 2024, how much time do you think they would take to build their?
So now it's a lot more competitive. Now, because of the lockdown, we have a lot of new social media influencer. Those have evolved.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of competition. So you need to know what is your voice for that. If you know your voice will stand out. So, of course, things are very different now. So one needs to be very sure that this is the profession or the work module that they want to get into, because this is a serious business. This is not a 9 to 5 job. This is beyond 9 to 5.
I understand. And Renu, you have traveled to lots of international shows. Before I ask you that, what all trends are most prevailing, I want to talk about the technology because you do cover tech section of the
Yes.
shows as well.
Yes.
What are the latest technology that people should harp upon and could be groundbreaking for the industry?
So one of them, of course, there's a lot of debate going on between natural diamonds and lab-grown diamonds, and that's a fear factor, amongst everyone, that the jewelry that they're buying is natural, is lab-grown.
Yeah.
So of course, due to the advanced technology, we have machines detect whether your diamond natural. So that's something very interesting. And another great technology that I featured on my channel was to know the carat weight of your gold. Like some jeweler would say, okay, no, that this is not, this is 21 carat gold, but actually it may not be 21
not.
carat gold. So that's another great technology that has come up with. So there are many technology. And in fact, right now at the Istanbul show, I saw a machine that makes gold balls and silver balls. And those gold balls are the most essential part of any jewelry, whether it's a
Yeah.
necklace or it's a bangle, it's a ring. So I think technology has really made our lives a lot more easier in terms of production.
What is the most fun part of whole thing of your job?
So it's to definitely meet a lot of interesting people and to meet renowned brands, to understand their story, to hear their story. So I think this is a great platform to just meet people, to hear their stories. And believe me, each one has their own unique stories to like share,
Yeah.
to inspire. And of course, jewelry. You see a lot of jewelry, and each show that I go to has a different trends in jewelry, because like Istanbul will be all about gold, Hong Kong will be all about dragon, for example, because that's the year
dragon,
of the
yeah.
dragon, yeah. And Bahrain, we see a lot of natural pearls. India is filled with the rich legacy and with the rich history.
And Renu, talking about trends, what do you think are the best trends for consumer and for retailers?
So see, for consumers, now the festivities are coming. There's Diwali coming up. So of course, there's a lot of card parties happening. So when you talk about card parties, they have to be bold statement rings, for example, or bracelets, for example, good earrings, for example. So and I believe that wear what resonates with you. Because trends is something that eventually
and go.
comes and goes. So eventually, wear what makes you feel confident, what brings a big smile on your face. Even if if it's a small ring with a pointer, you should be comfortable. You should resonate, in it. So. But talking about trends, we see a lot of trends. Like colors are great trends. Like, and in fact, not just the standard ruby, sapphire, or emerald. There are many colors evolved, like gemstone colors. I mean to say, ruby light is there. There's Paraiba tourmaline. There's morganite. There's kunzite. And also because social media has created so much awareness amongst the Gen Z that they want to experiment with something new. And besides following the same ruby, sapphire, and emerald, so definitely a lot of pop in color, mix of metals, like now gone are the days where people only
Yeah.
wear gold metal. People want to mix gold with platinum platinum or white gold, so mix of metals, mix of texture. In fact, I also saw beautiful jewelry of wood and gold, so that's another great trend. Then of course, like I mentioned to you, each country has its own significance. Like Hong Kong has the Year of the Dragon, we have a lot of titanium jewelry. India is filled with the legacy of the jewelry inspired by the Mughal era. Then when you go to places like the Middle East. Here we have a lot of jewelry inspired by the cultural significance, like the moon and the stars and the palms. So and the crescent shape of the moon, of course. So and malachite is a great popular stone in the Arab nation, along with turquoise. So now how beautifully each country, each nation has its own significance of culture, which is very beautifully and gracefully expressed in their jewelry.
Renu, I'm always intrigued how all the content creators curate the content just right before the trend or the season. What is your personal how you prepare for the season? Do you do your own homework before? You do as per the occasion, or do you as per your collaborations? What's your
So
preparation
yeah,
ground?
so basically it's a mix of everything. Like right now, I know I'm in Dubai for an event, so my entire content curation is around this particular event, and after which I will be heading over for another event, so it's going to be around that. Then of course there's Diwali, so we'll definitely prepare something around Diwali, and basically the last quarter of the year is all about exhibitions and events. So it actually all depends on collaborations, on events, on what's trending also, of course, because when the Ambani wedding was there, everybody was talking about the Ambani wedding,
Yeah.
and it was the talk of the town, not just in India but
Across.
globally. So and that gained a lot of followers to everybody. So you have to follow the trend and what's viral. Basically, you're also thinking in terms of how to gain more followers, and organic. Like for me, whatever
It's
I
yeah.
do, it has to be organic. I don't believe in buying my likes or buying my followers, because also eventually audience knows. Yeah.
There are tools nowadays to check all these
Yeah, of
things
course
and
there are
who you're
tools.
fooling
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah.
Renu, we spoke a lot about your journey. We spoke about trends and
Yes.
everything. We spoke about putting out that content as per the trends and everything. How do you fathom exhaustion when you feel that, oh
Oh.
my god, I'm like, I need to switch off and I need to just relax?
So whenever I'm taking my flight, believe me, I'm so happy. Wow, there's no Wi-Fi now. There's no connectivity. I can just sleep. Believe me, yeah, no, it is very exhausting, because eventually you're running around the whole day in an event, trying to curate content, and the work begins after that, because
Yeah.
because any brand you associate with or an event you're associated with, they'll be like, "Madam, when are you posting it?" So and I'm like, I'm first drink some water and take a breather. But of course, that's what work is. So it's a lot of pressure, because it's like, in real life you have to post, because that's when the content gets viral, and that's when the event wants to be seen around. So of course, I do take some breaks. When after getting back to India, I will switch off for a day, relax, unwind, and then and recharge myself before I start for the next project.
Something that is very close to your heart and you think that's your passion project, you want to eventually bring in to your audience, what that would be?
Well, I really want to create a lot of awareness about the gems and the jewelry, and the not just amongst the Indian community, but even globally. There's a lot goes talk about sustainability, diamonds are coming from, and talk about. There's a lot that goes behind, the cardigans and the artisans who are working. Those are the real gems of our industry, because if they didn't put in their passion in
True.
crafting a piece of jewelry, none of us would be admiring that. So I really want to bring all the artisans who are the real gems behind a piece of jewelry, and really honor them. That is because of you guys that we are wearing, and even like the miners who work day in and day out in that very difficult situation, to like even unearth that natural diamond or that gemstone from the river, or it's really difficult. Because and
Tough
so you can
job.
imagine their exhaustion level.
Yeah, yeah.
Here we are working in the comfort of everything,
True.
but those are the real stars and the real gems.
I
Yeah.
agree, and I can't wait to see that work done
Yeah,
by you.
hopefully.
And Renu, any collaboration that's on your bucket list that you want to like achieve in near future?
Yes, there are many of them which I'm yet working towards, but I would like to talk about a few of the most important collaboration which I had through my journey since 2018. The first one was to be invited at the De Beers mine.
That's so
So
cool.
that was something really amazing because like I mentioned to you, I always wanted to share the backstory of how a diamond is sourced. And when the president of Botswana told me that yes, be my guest, it was like wow, I literally have goosebumps as I'm talking to you right now. So it was something really amazing. So that was a great collaboration to go to the mines in Botswana and to see how the diamond sourced and the process behind it. And recently, like after Danat invited me to Bahrain in 2020, where I experienced pearl
The Pearl
diving.
Lab,
Yeah,
right?
where I experienced the pearl diving for the very first time. I wanted to share that experience with people on through my social media platform. So that's when I spoke to them and I curated a tour very recently in April 2024. It was my first batch where I took 9 people to Bahrain, where we had a complete curated itinerary of 4 days, which included going to the museums, going to the pearling path, and the most importantly on the last day was to go for pearl diving in the shallow waters in Bahrain. Pick up the oysters, open the oysters, and and if you find the pearl in the oyster, that's yours. So it's an experience again, like the
Wow.
backstory about how a pearl source. And of course, very recently again, before coming to Dubai, I was in Bahrain because I curated my second tour again with the same experience, and now hopefully, inshallah, I will curate another one very soon.
That's
So it's just
amazing.
about sharing the same passion with everybody, so everybody should benefit from it. Yeah.
This is so cool.
Thank
I mean,
you.
like, not only the visual, but you're also working on the experience side of
Yes,
it.
that's very
Your
important.
goal is very noble. I
Yeah.
love your thought.
Thank you.
One message to the audience of Jewelry Pod that you want to put it out.
So I would just like to say that work with passion. Where there's passion, you will not feel the pain, you will not feel the exhaustion. There will be a gest in you to say, let's do it. And believe me, if your intentions are clear, you can achieve anything. There's nothing that can pull you down. You just have to be honest in your heart. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Renu,
Thank
for
you.
sharing the journey. Beautiful journey, I would say. And so much to learn, so much
Thank
you
you.
inspire a lot. And good luck for your
Yeah,
journey.
thank you. We all learn and we all inspire one another. Thank you so much.
I enjoyed this session a lot. I do hope that you felt the same. Please share your feedback in the comments and engage with our other channels. Do follow Diamond Talk and the Jewelry Pod on all the social media channels mentioned below. Till we meet again, thank you.